Good evening, everyone. I am Jerome Buck, founder of Blue Sky Sports Australia. And tonight we're not launching a program, we're launching a promise, a movement, a national commitment to something that should never have been negotiable. Free and universal access to sport for every child in Australia under 18. This is not a rollout, it's a rally. It's a line in the sand and it starts now. So, let's be clear. Sport in Australia is no longer universally accessible. It's become a privileged, priced out, fenced off and fragmented situation. 74% of teenagers aren't active enough to meet basic health guidelines in this country. Families are spending over $600 per child just per year just to be able to keep them in the game. And community clubs are facing increasing costs of more than $20,000 annually simply to make things work. It's got to be passed on to someone, and it's being passed on to participants. So what is PlayFund? PlayFund is a bold generational promise to guarantee free and universal access to sport, movement and play for every Australian under the age of 18. It's in the spirit of Medicare and the NDIS that this initiative reframes youth sport. It's not a privilege or a pastime, but a public infrastructure for emotional well-being, physical health, and national cohesion. The problem at the moment is sport is broken. We have rising family expenses, like we said, more than $600 a year just to make ends meet. Some sports are even far more than that. Cost of living pressures, club cost of living pressures. Community sports clubs are averaging more than $20,000 a year just simply to keep themselves running. It's making it very, very hard. There's sport-specific costs, such as travel, all those sorts of things. They're all there and they're all proving a problem. And this is impacting on participation, and we need to address this. There's an illusion out there in the community. There's an illusion out there with government. There's government assistance exists, and government assistance is available. But let's be clear, it's an illusion. It is just that, an illusion. It's often any government assistance exists is event-based, or it's competitive, or it's limited in what it offers. Most states have vouchers, but they barely touch the sides. In West Australia, it's $300 per child per year, but you've got to have a healthcare or concession card. In Queensland, it's $150 per child per year. That barely is going to make a dent. In Victoria, it's $200 per child per year. But again, you've got to meet criteria. The only state in the country where there is no criteria for this is South Australia, where it's $100 per child with no criteria. And in New South Wales, considered one of the biggest states, it's nothing more than $50 twice a year, where on average, families are spending over $600 per year. And in some cases, they're spending over $13,000 if their child's in an elite program. And then there's no help for gear, weekly fees, or regional travel and whatsoever. You know, we have experiences firsthand, and I know this, here in West Australia, of children travelling as far as Esperance to Perth simply to participate in elite programs. That's making costs, that's putting impact on families, and it just isn't working. We don't need medals to deserve support. We need access. That's what we need. Like I say, it says it there. We don't need medals. We need access. We need support. PlayFund Australia is a national commitment to universal youth sport. We've done it with Medicare. We've done it with the NDIS. Why not do it? So PlayFund Australia makes that commitment. So the blueprint, pretty simple. Access credits linked to Medicare or education enrolments. Coach care accreditation, which focuses far more on making sure that trauma-informed coaching is part of all coach accreditation and emotional safety is taken into account. Community activation grants to fund youth-led formats from street futsal to things like sink strike to whiz sticks hockey to you name it. And youth field registry and digital pass so kids can find programs wherever they are in the world, wherever they are in Australia. And we're not asking for overnight change. We understand overnight change may not be possible. What we propose here is a rollout over a period of time. So we propose a staged rollout over 3 phases. Phase 1 is the foundational phase, where we start, where we pilot programs, where we look at different ways to get it up and running. Phase 2 is expansion, where we expand the program and go beyond and create better infrastructure. And then phase 3 is where we get to that point of full universal coverage across Australia. It's a simple, easy process, and it all can be all done in 3 phases. Now I hear people saying to me, the economics, how can we afford this? How can we make this happen? Well, the economics are there. It's easy. Budgetary items, yes, will have to be considered. Levies will have to be looked at. I believe one way to fund something like this would be to place a levy on all elite sport, all betting agencies, sports betting agencies. Put a levy on them. Get them to make a contribution to community sport. Get them making actual contributions through a levy. The economic case is simple. It's smart policy. For every $6.51 will be returned. Every $6.51 will be returned for every dollar we invest. And that's just in WA. That's not in the rest of the country. There'll be better academic outcomes. There'll be lower healthcare costs because people will be fitter, healthier as a result of playing sport. Their mental health will be better as a result of playing sport. This isn't just an issue for sport. This is a health matter. This is a productivity issue. This is an educational issue. This is everything. And there'll be stronger communities as a result of this as well. So, yes, it will see changes to the architecture of sport in this country. Yes, it will. It will require some change to certain institutions that exist, such as the Australian Sports Commission. It will mean the Australian Sports Commission will need to shift how it aligns itself to be more focused on play well strategies and inclusive infrastructure. It will need perhaps to make sure that when it does its infrastructure planning that's coming up very soon, that it prioritises multi-use facilities, barrier-free facilities. It will need to look at how it funds through its programs such as sporting schools and Play Our Way. It may need to increase those areas of funding to the community to help particularly clubs that will no longer be charging fees. And it will need to have a role in measuring and evaluating, as it's always done, in how this is going, tracking participation, equity outcomes, and also productivity dividends from this very policy. Departments of sport at state and federal level, they will have a different role to play. They will have to focus more on policy reform These departments will need to revise funding models to support clubs without fee-based income, possibly expanding programs like they have here in WA, which is the CSRFF and the CNLP4 programs. They'll need to look at shared agreements with schools and councils made to formalise facility use to maximise public access. This will need to happen. Health integration with sport will need to be more deeply embedded in public health. Strategies to reduce chronic disease and improve mental health and wellbeing will have to be a major part of this. And equity mandate policies like the New South Wales Equitable Access and Usage Policy will need to become standard nationwide. And it will be departments of sports and rec at state and federal level, and departments of health and departments of education that drive those changes. So yes, they will have change that they'll have to make. Local governments will face change too. They will face change too. Facilities ownership and maintenance will become more of a responsibility of councils. They'll need to make sure the facilities are upkept and the public facilities are available. And they'll need to look at how they do their funding reallocation with clubs no longer collecting fees. Councils may need to increase direct support or co-fund operations. Community engagement, councils will need to do more in the area of community engagement. They'll need to look for tools for inclusion, youth development and civic pride, especially in growth areas. And grant gatekeeping will be a big part of this as well. Councils may require clubs to demonstrate gender equity and inclusive access to qualify for infrastructure funding. So there will be significant changes that council will have to take on board as part of this proposal. And finally, the biggest of all will be how this will impact the local sporting club. The revenue models will shift from clubs. They'll no longer be reliant on participation fees. They'll have to seek out other ways of funding through grants, sponsorship, program-based income. They'll have to do that. It will increase participation. It will increase participation, which is a good thing. It will increase volunteerism, but it will also put pressure on the volunteer base that exists as it stands. We know that. So they'll need help. And there'll need to be partnership expansion. Club will need to look to deepen its ties with schools, health organisations, co-delivery programs, and also local council and governments. They'll need to do those things. This is a significant change, but it's the right change for the future. The national forecast. The national forecast. Over 3 million children will be engaged. 25% increase in player activity among youth. 20,000 coaches accredited in trauma-informed sport delivery. Tangible improvements in school attendance, emotional regulation and community connection. And expanded sport access for homeschool communities, etc. right across the country. This has national productivity impacts. This has national impacts generally. This has educational impacts. This has everything. So how do you get involved? How do you get involved with this? Well, it's simple. We want you to sign the Let 'em Play National Pledge for free access to youth sport. We want you to be a part of this. We want you to support this. We want you to contact your local councils, your local representatives at state and federal level and urge them to do this. We want you to sign the pledge so that we can take that pledge and present it to governments around the country and say, here you are. The people of Australia want this for their young people. They want this. Let's make it happen. You can sign the pledge by scanning the QR code that is on the screen now, or clicking on the link that is there to provide. Sign it, share it, tag your leaders into it. Let them know this isn't optional. It's overdue. If you believe sport should be free, fair, and for everyone, stand with us. Stand with us and support this. We don't play for privilege. We play to rise. From outer suburbs to outback towns, from caravan courts to cul-de-sacs. Play is not a luxury, it's a right. This is not reform, it's a revolution. A movement born in resistance and shared by care. We claim the field together. Let's rise.
From cul-de-sacs to caravan courts, we rise with sneakers, dreams, and shorts. No post-cold walls, no pay to play. The field is ours, we lead the way. We move for joy, we move for care. Every child, everywhere. This isn't privilege, this is right. We play to heal, we play to fight. We claim the field, we claim our name. No more silence, no more shame. From outer suburbs to desert skies, we play to rise, we play to
rise. Trauma fades when movement flows. In every pass our courage grows. Coaches care as changemakers near. We build the future year by year.
This is not policy, it's a promise. Not reform, it's a revolution. A movement born in resistance, shaped by care, by connection, by truth.
We claim the field, we claim our name. No more silence, no more shame. From outer suburbs to desert skies, we play to rise, we play to rise. We play to rise. The field is ours. Together.